We got footage of last night's house show in Springfield, Illinois, where Cody turns his back and then elbows Punk in the face. And this is like played up like this was accidental. This looked very purposeful. I would have been just as annoyed as Punk seemed to be here. It was you just turned your back to me and then you elbowed. Like, what were you thinking was going to happen with the elbow? You just saw how close I am to you.
Yeah, I mean, this might have worked for a live crowd, but with the camera so close to it, it's like there's no possible.
Like Cody was a dick here. Like he looked him in the eye, turned around, and elbowed him. I was like, jerk. Kathy Kelly interviews CM Punk, and he explains that this match has been pushed off for a long time, and we don't have to be friends come tomorrow night, but he's going to remain champion. In walks Trick Williams, who says that sooner or later, he's going to come for CM Punk's title. He wishes that he had won the 4-way last week. Punk wishes he won it too, and says that once you build yourself up for this title, I'm going to whoop that Trick.
Strange, I thought, interaction here, but, because Trick's not at this level yet, but they seem to not be able to get enough of this man, and I can understand why, and we see that later as well, that Trick is just so charismatic.
So Cody comes out and makes his entrance, but it is interrupted by CM Punk, who storms past Cody to the ring, and basically they just want to get this started with. It felt like we've got 12 minutes of content and we don't have time for our entrances. Cody explains that I know the real Punk because I can see through you, and this match was inevitable. Punk explains taking the title shot against Sami Zayn that fell into his lap, says, I'm not like the crybabies in the back who complain about the same 4 people on top. Take that, Damian Priest. And he says, Zayn, and he got caught off here. He said, Zayn, he meant to say Zayn talks like a starter when he's a bench player, but got his words mixed up and had to reset. This was not the finest CM Punk delivery, I thought, overall on this promo, and this was the start of that.
Uncharacteristic.
He says, for my whole career, I've pissed people off, and stating that he defended taking that title shot against Sami Zayn when it came his way. He knew that by winning the title, it puts him on a collision course with Cody, and he was fine with that. And then there's this ever so brief pause because Cody clearly was aware that he was to end this on a certain line. And then it was like Punk snapped in and remembered it and had to awkwardly insert that I need to know who the better wrestler is for business purposes. And obviously that for business purposes was the line for Cody to extrapolate upon, but it was a very kind of like awkward pause. And oh yeah, I forgot the line. So Cody starts to do his catchphrase. The crowd, I mean, I would say they were chanting for Punk. You could hear Punk chants, but it's not like this was deafening. This sounded like 50 people. Yeah. He says business purposes. That sounds like typical CM Punk double talk, and says that it is personal. It's personal for anyone who has ever held this title, and you're the one who came back here saying you're not here to make friends. You're here to make money. But Punk clarifies there's an asterisk. He also didn't come back here to lose any friends. But if it comes down to losing a friend or losing the title, then it's not going to be a good night for Cody tomorrow. And Cody says, I'm bothered by the word tomorrow. What are you going to do tonight? And we get the big showdown, Neil, as these men are wearing their big puffed out jackets. And first, CM Punk slowly takes off his jacket, takes off the friendship bracelet that defined SummerSlam 2 years ago. That's right. And he just says, say when. And now Cody takes off his big Club WWE Cody branded jacket to reveal his his vest, his shirt, the chain, and then looks at Punk and says, when? And they start to trade blows. They go to the floor. They clear the desk. Security took forever to make their way out and finally separate them. They were ready to lose this main event, and they continue until the end of the show. I didn't think the most spirited brawl I have ever seen here. I didn't find this to be like the greatest end segment for these two. I think they have much better in them, but maybe you felt you were higher on this, Neil.
No, I wasn't. I thought this was very by the numbers. It feels like these two have been treading water a little bit for a while. I mean, even from the promotion for this show, it's these two face to face. That's exactly what they said last week, and they've tried to up the sort of intensity of the rivalry. And even that clip that he showed from the house show earlier on, trying to sort of, they're really getting under each other's skin now. I just find it very hard to buy into these two kind of really despising one another. I don't know. It's still an intriguing match. It's still one of the bigger matches they can put together for SummerSlam. I just feel that creatively the build and the promo segments haven't been up to scratch. And this is... Paul Levesque seems to love these pull-apart things, and that's what we got as the go-home segment. The officials are out, they escape the officials, they attack each other again, they're separated, they escape, they manage to get some hits in, and the show goes off the air with the credits as they're hitting each other, as Tessitore says, and they fight into the night, as though this is going to go on.
They're still going at it on Green Bay as we speak. Yeah, I still feel this is the bigger match of the two title matches. I'm more interested in this than I am the Reigns Rollins. I don't know. Reigns and Rollins has not clicked with me. I think they relied on a lot of just stuff that is not connected, which is funny because tonight it seemed that they had this whole segment planned with Punk and Cody, and I think in their mind they thought that us finally coming to blows was going to elicit this huge response, and you just did not have a heated crowd for it. And that was evident early in the segment. Like, you got these like half-hearted CM Punk chants, but it did not feel like a rabid crowd that was at the edge of their seats for these two to come to blows. And maybe this would have felt different if this was on Monday at the Intuit Dome with 14,000 people instead of less than 5 here. Yeah. But it was not a great crowd response, and I just didn't think that this set you into SummerSlam as this like can't miss event.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's July on the Post Wrestling Cafe, and that means our extensive G1 coverage begins starting July 11th. We're going to have reviews of every single G1 card right up to and including the finals in the middle of August. Plus, Rewind Away takes a look at 2 episodes of Heels. We're also going to be going back to 2005 for a review of WrestleMania 21, and it is the start of our double shot episodes covering this season of Dark Side of the Ring. Plus, we are going to dive into the 3rd season of WWE Unreal. All that and so much more can be yours by signing up to the Post Wrestling Cafe. It gets you XL editions of Rewind to Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown, Collision Course on a weekly basis, MCU later, and so much more.